Cool. All right, Michael, you lead.
Hey guys, welcome to episode 106 of We're All in the Same Boat. I'm here with Luke.
Woo! Hey.
And Shane.
Hey guys.
And not Nick.
Oof.
You can listen to us on Google Play, SoundCloud, YouTube, Stitcher, the iTunes, Apple Podcast app, whatever you want to call it. We're not on Spotify.
Coming soon.
Leave us a 5-star review on iTunes if you love us. If not, you probably hate us. So.
And I just, as a disclaimer, just in case people are listening, and they're wondering where Nick is, he does not have corona that we know of.
He's fine.
He is fine, so don't think that's why he's not here today.
All right, let's just stop for a second. Michael, I want you to acknowledge what it's like to host, because as soon as you finish talking and you've said all the things on your bullet list, it's like I felt it. You were sitting there like, oh, okay, so...
Yeah, now what?
No,
what do we do?
But whenever you plan to say something, it's way harder than to just talk normally.
Yeah, if
really
someone
strange.
walked up to me and was like, here's a microphone, introduce. I'd be like, oh, hey, everyone, welcome. Great. This is so good to see everyone. But as soon as someone's like, you have 5 minutes, think about what you want to say, write it down and go say it. It gets so much more difficult. Like back in church when it's like, hey, read this Bible passage. It's just like,
yeah.
Oh boy, I have to read. I have to have things put in front of me and I have to say what they are.
My favorite part of that whole experience was Luke getting called on that he was here and him wavering for point millisecond.
I didn't know what
I don't
to
know
do.
what to say. Yeah,
I actually did. He's so funny because I'm like, woo. Oh, hello.
You're like, oh, hey,
that's me.
I'm here. Yes.
I've never had to say hello. I don't think I've ever said.
Yeah, he always introduces.
This is Luke. Oh, hi. That's me. It's never happened.
Well, there you go.
So do I take over now?
Luke?
Let us know, guys, if you like Michael
you.
saying the podcast. Should he, or the podcast intro, should he do it
Yeah,
exclusively
if this is
from
your
now
first
on?
podcast episode, we've decided to start doing this thing where we share the intro of the podcast to a couple people on it. So today,
I feel like we're making a bigger deal of it than it really is, but we're just dramatic like that.
True. So again, the topics of today, we're all quarantined and losing our minds a little bit, trying to find things to do with all the free time that we have at home. No more driving, no more
Well, I don't know
hangouts, no friends. Wait, you're still driving?
No friends.
about that. Yeah, I drive a lot, actually.
Why? Wait, why? Wait,
Well,
you're part of the problem, Shane.
I'm not
No, just
part of the
kidding.
problem.
Why are you driving?
I'm
He's
only
also
driving
eating
to
right now,
do.
I think.
Sorry, I'm also doing. I only do essential things like go get groceries or go hang out at my friend's house. No, just kidding.
Wait,
but
no.
but that's but I do actually go to a friend's house
Essential
because we're
things
working
like
on
go
something.
to church and shake everyone's hand.
No, churches are canceled. They're not canceled, but churches are online now. And
Wasn't there a guy who was trying to say his church was immune to the coronavirus?
There was a guy that got arrested. He got arrested
Oh.
for having church, basically.
Wait, you know church, so what happened? Do you know the story?
you know
I don't
church.
know a ton about it. I do know church.
Well,
Well,
you're so involved in your church, it seems like it'd be a topic that would come up with in churches.
Really, it's barely come up because it's kind of like a fringe thing. Most churches are kind of like, yeah, let's not get coronavirus, so we won't have church today.
I agree with that.
But this guy basically, it might be what the church you're talking about. And he's like, yeah, just come on. We're going to pray that we don't get it, and we won't get it. And he got arrested for that.
Because that's exactly how prayer works, people.
No, it's funny because you said it's like a fringe thing, and I do hate that sort of thing of when someone looks at a situation like this and it's like, wow, all church people on earth do what he does. And it's like, no, it's just one guy. You know, he's just a random guy who sucks. That
How do you think
decided
the Chinese people feel right now?
it's true.
Yeah. I do have a really, just a short, tangent on that. It actually is pretty interesting because people in the church are kind of freaking out a little bit, and this one actually is stupid.
They think it's the rapture?
Well, no. So, about a week, maybe last week.
Wait,
I
are
don't
you guys
remember the
still
actual
having
day.
service?
No,
in person?
not my
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We first thought Shane was a problem, then it was like Michael's a problem.
No,
you guys are spreading this everywhere.
I wear gloves, though.
All right,
by the
no
way.
more talking. Michael,
In the
go ahead.
most
No more talking.
recent executive order in Virginia, the governor made it a misdemeanor to have a group gathering of 10 or more. And some people on Facebook were going like, "Oh man, they made it illegal to have church now." And I thought my friends were joking. But one guy posted an article that was serious, and he's the guy that kind of says crazy stuff. And I was like, bro, that's dumb because of this and this and this. First of all, in the executive order, it doesn't even mention religious gatherings at all. But people are acting like it's targeting religious gatherings.
Yeah.
And
I mean, it's like...
It's really short. It's easy to read. Like, you click on the article that says...
Very
what
easy
it's not
to
about,
read.
And then you can see what it is. And then
It says you can still have church.
people that I respect were also like that. I thought were not dumb. Or like, government's like making it illegal. I thought this was separation of church and state.
Well, okay, so I do understand the paranoia. I was talking about this before we even went online, that... when you get enough things that are lies, you start to wonder about everything. You know, It's like, oh, coronavirus is definitely sickness. It's definitely happening, which I think it is. But it is like, wow, it did come at a weird time, and it is an odd sickness. It's not like people are dying that we can see. Obviously, you know, according to people are dying, right? Yeah. But it's so weird that the abstract of this is everyone go in your houses. Do not leave your houses. Do not meet with your friends. Do not talk to anybody.
Yeah.
Stay alone and just trust us. Everyone's dying. Us. But I don't know. I think is like the deepest my conspiracy would be that the virus does exist, but it's being used some way to someone's advantage. You know, like that guy who was selling all the what do you call it? The hand sanitizer. He basically took the virus and like used it somehow, and you know,
it's probably him. He was really buying all the hand sanitizer so no one would be safe.
He was just going to place buying hand sanitizer. Like, man, if only I could sell this stuff for a lot more. Wait a second. What if I start a virus?
What if I start a virus?
That actually ties into the thing I read on Facebook today that I'm curious about opinions. This is also connected to coronavirus. I will read the quote as is. Okay, I'm just going to read it. It says, "Now that we know who the essential workers are, explain to me why professional athletes who make so much more money..." Wait. Explain to me why professional athletes make...
Can you not read, Luke?
Nope. Can I try again? Michael, you're the host.
Yeah, you can go one more time. Just once.
I thought I was doing really well with that read, actually. It was really enunciated and well-paced.
That's how we all feel in high school English class.
This is what it's like to read in church. So, explain to me why professional athletes make so much more money if they are basically useless when it matters.
Well, I also don't understand the correlation between those two things, but but I can explain to you why athletes get paid lots of money if that's what they want to know.
Yeah, because they're the best at something.
It's not even that they're the best at something. Athletes get paid lots of money because lots of people watch like sports, and sports brings in lots of money with lots of ads and lots of people buying tickets and lots of views. So they make a lot of money.
A restaurant that has the best food, and then a bunch of people go, and then word spreads about it. Everyone goes to this restaurant, and they're like, dude, this is the best sandwich. It's funny, it's a sandwich. The best sandwich in the world at this restaurant. Go there and get the sandwich. Then people go to that restaurant, and they're like, why do they get all the money? And it's like, because people are paying them. Because people want the sandwiches.
These cars, and they're just making sandwiches. How dare they?
Yeah, it's like, because people are paying for the sandwiches, you know? It's it's not
the
thing
with
stealing.
Sports. The thing with sports is, say like the NFL's the best one to go by, right? NFL makes a whole bunch of money. Look at the Super Bowl, a whole bunch of money, right? Imagine getting paid minimum wage to play in the NFL. They make so much money.
Why would you even try?
Unjust. Yeah, why would you even?
It's just
why would you even try?
It's like, oh, if you become the best football player in the world, we will pay you $7 an hour. You just be like, why would I even try? I might as well do a job that takes zero work at all to get. People do the same thing with like managers, where it's like looking left and right. Well, we are the ones serving all the food. Why does the manager get all the money, or why does the restaurant? And it's like, because he built the building. You have no building without that guy.
And what a lot of people don't understand is that these athletes, they're not just getting paid money. There's like things that come with the money. They have to have good public standing. The minute they do something that is not good for their image, they're gone. They're out, and there's no more. There's no money. So there's more stuff that goes into it than just, they're bouncing a basketball, so let me give them, $2 million every time they make a shot. It's like, well, I can do that. So, well, can you? Under the pressure, under the lights?
They're investing. They're not investing money like anyone play any type of sports, any of the sports people. The athletes, they're not just losing time. It's like they're beating their body up a lot of the times. They're not going to work very well, and so it's like, they get paid a lot because they entertain so many people. And if you think about entertainment, it's like they make a ton of people enjoy their life, and so they get a lot of money because we all watch football and then buy Bud Light, and Bud Light advertises, and Bud Light makes all this money, and then Bud Light's like, we really don't want this NFL to go away, so we're going to pay a ton of money to show it on all these TV channels and then show our ads. And then everyone goes and buys Bud Light and they're like, wow, this works great. I don't know. I just think it's silly. It's like,
but why aren't they helping end the COVID pandemic though?
Because they're not allowed to. You want to know why? Because they're spreading it to other people. They're spreading it to reporters. They're spreading it to innocent children at meet and greets. They need to stay home.
Wait. What?
Yeah, you didn't hear about the basketball player?
The basketball guy who was like touching all the microphones.
Yes, and he infected 3 other people. Stay at home. You don't deserve to play. But for the quote, going back to the original point, to answer what I feel like is the real underlying question, which is why do these essential people, and I put that in quotations, not get paid more money, like, health workers and teachers and all those types of things. I agree. Those people should be paid lots more money, but I don't control that. So
I know, but why should they get paid more money?
I think they should get paid more money because they're put under, they're just using this COVID-19 as a example, is because the athlete is still getting paid, right? $1 million jillion, and they're not doing anything but sitting on their couch and going on Instagram Live every 2 seconds.
Even if they're not being paid right now, they're still basically just being paid because they have so much money.
Exactly. I mean, there's so much more, but this, this doctor is putting their life, not their life, but their health at risk, and their stress levels are at risk every day by going and dealing with these situations, and lots of hospitals that don't have enough space, they don't have enough supplies, they don't have enough staff or whatever. It's like, they're not even getting paid overtime. And just like for my job, just not to talk about myself, but it's a good example. We're starting back up next week, and we're doing this like emergency camp or whatever. But they told us, well, you're not going to get paid any more money because it's not in the budget to pay the money. It's like, well, these other people,
working for you is not a budget for me.
Yeah, but the other people who work, for the city who are not working are getting paid their same amount of money. But us who are risking our lives to, go out and work, we get paid the same amount of money. It doesn't make any sense. There's been lots of meetings and arguments and emails, but
oh man.
But I think it's just because of the circumstances that you have to deal with, they should get paid more money.
Well, everyone always says certain people should get more money. And also, too, the
schooling, for if you're a doctor, I should get paid the amount of money it took me to pay to even come here to begin with.
I think everybody should just get more money.
That too, right. But that's a whole different scenario.
How about we write a check to everyone in the United States right now for like $1,000?
Government, because y'all can write these checks for these trillions of dollars, and I don't understand where it comes from.
Well, apparently, it's not good. Like the amount of money that we're spending on this is not good.
Yeah. Oh, I know. It can't be.
But like I think the amount of money that everyone is getting is like a third of the national income. Like all the money that the United States makes together, we're spending like a third of it for the whole year on this thing.
Wow. Makes sense. I mean, it's like there's millions of people in America, and each person gets $1,000. That's a lot.
Yeah. And that's only part of it. Like they're spending on research, they're spending it on rebuilding things, maybe other government stuff. It's no joke. But I don't know. I think you could always say people should get paid more money because they do good stuff. But I don't know. I just don't think it's a realistic viewpoint. It's always like, well, police officers should get paid more, or school teachers should get paid more than blank. And it's like, dude, it's so much easier.
More.
It's so much easier to be a school teacher than it is a professional athlete basketball player.
No,
but
it's not,
to what degree? To what degree?
Being a single mom to 7 kids.
To what? But see, those aren't even no, because, and this is from working with children. I'm telling you, I'm pretty sure I get more stressed out per day working with children than someone does practicing their free throws for a few hours a day. I'm pretty sure I'm more stressed out doing that. And you know what? Even if I'm not, but no, even if I'm not more stressed out, I don't get to go home to my millions in my mansion in Beverly Hills sipping my lemonade.
I know, but there's okay.
Shayne, you should have just bought a mansion in Beverly Hills. What's your problem?
When the next time when I go, that's what I'm planning to do.
When I get my check from the government, I will buy one.
Exactly.
No, but the thing is, it's like, okay, I take care of, like, let's take your job. You take care of kids. It's stressful. You might not get paid enough. Like, whatever it is about your job that's negative. Take all those things and then go look at all the other people that have the exact same thing with their job. Most people have that issue with their job. Like, I'm not getting paid enough. Yes. It's really stressful. It's really bad. And so to look at a basketball player and be like, well, wait, he gets so much more money. And it's like, yeah, but look what line he's standing in. He's the best, top 10 of the world, best at that. If you were like the top 10 best person with kids and teaching and that sort of thing, you'd have so much money, but you're not. You're in like the bottom. There's so many more. You know what I mean? Not the bottom, but like there's so many people that are doing your job than are professional basketball players.
There's definitely,
so that money has to be spread out.
Ranking, because also you do have to look at it in terms of what you're doing. You can't really base different careers and their financialness to other careers. You have to look at it in your own little boxes, because a professional athlete is the highest tier you can get to. There's a lot of lower tiers in being an athlete as a career that you can do and still get paid. Same thing with, working in like a hospital or working in the teaching field. You can be a sub, or you can be a teacher, or you can be an assistant principal, the principal,
and
the superintendent,
the amount of work,
yada, yada, yada,
Well, the amount of training it takes, I don't know. It's like...
Yeah, and years and experience. No, for sure. I'm not...
Michael.
Luke, we're on the same page. I'm not... I think they should get paid the amount of money that they get because, of the things that they have to do.
But they're not essential.
They're not essential to human life. No.
Essential. Something being essential has nothing to do with your income level.
But entertainment is essential. So I would argue that point. I wouldn't say entertainment is not essential.
What do you think, Michael?
I just never thought I'd be on a podcast where I'm defending why someone else should get millions of dollars besides me.
You're like, I don't care.
I'm the only one who should get millions of dollars.
I don't think any of us even watch sports. Shayne, do you even watch sports?
Not often enough to care. No.
Yeah, like, I don't know. I mean, I do respect people's like ability to achieve certain levels of athleticism and stuff, but it also doesn't really contribute to the world at all, because you could be just as entertaining with...
Well, if okay.
What do you mean by contribute to the world?
Wait, slow down. I gotta think about this for a second before we go. So...
Okay, first of all, I mean, obviously it contributes to the economy. Any big industry contributes to the economy.
Well, yeah, because it's like if
anything
that is entertainment, anything that makes people happy and makes them enjoy their lives is worth something, right?
Yeah,
so if I had a million people that most of the time were sad, and I created something that made most of them happy for an hour a day.
Yeah, they should throw their dollar bills at you.
Well, it's worth something because it's like, well, great, now their lives aren't as boring. So I'm not saying that entertainment should be at the top of the list.
Yes.
But enjoying life is a big part of life. And so that has value to it.
Yeah, but if the world never had sports and then...
Well, I mean, it's just one less thing that people do that's fun. So it's like, dude, if the world didn't have beaches, we'd live. And it's like, well, yeah, but that is one thing that people do. They go to the beach, they have fun.
Yeah.
And if that's gone...
if we didn't have sports, if we didn't have sports, we'd have a lot more angry people in this world because they wouldn't have anything else to get their frustrations out on. You know how many people get their anger and frustration out on sports by hating certain athletes or hating other teams? Dude, these people are struggling right now.
It's fine.
These people are struggling, Michael.
Hold on, Shayne. What, Michael? I want you to.
There's tons of people that hate. You hate people like without having to have sports.
I know, but I'm talking about the sports
bangs.
But you know what you understand what I'm saying, Michael.
The sports fanatics, though.
But Michael, you understand what I'm saying, where it's like, if we got rid of sports, it wouldn't ruin everything. But you could say that about anything that's fun. I could just be like, oh, well, if we got rid of Xboxes, who would care? We still have PlayStations, and I could be like, we can get rid of all the video games. We still have to go outside, and like people would still have fun without. And it's like, well, yeah, but why not have them? You know, more things to make more people happy. You guys don't enjoy sports. I don't really enjoy sports. But
I enjoy sports. Don't speak for me, Luke.
I don't really enjoy sports. But so like, it's not really for me. But imagine if someone else was saying, dude, I don't even care about cameras. We don't even need cameras. Let's just watch sports all the time. I'd be like, wait, no. Let's keep the cameras.
Michael, what if someone said guitars aren't essential? Let's just get rid of those.
Yeah, everyone will be fine without guitars.
They don't need this. You don't need melody.
It'll all be fine.
Music.
Ed Sheeran doesn't need a career.
So I was looking at some of the numbers for the coronavirus so far.
Crazy. Spell them.
Yeah, I know, but how do you know if these are right? You know, it's like China isn't even on this list.
Information.
You know? I know, but it's like 240 people have it in the United States.
They just hit 1 million cases worldwide.
The funny thing about this graph is I copied it off of a website and pasted it into a notepad. And now I'm looking at it, and it didn't paste the headers.
Oop.
So I don't know which number is sick, which number is recovered, and which number is dead. So,
well, I would say the largest number is infected. The
like
lowest number is deaths.
One of them is just like population. You're like, 7 billion people have coronavirus.
And they would run with it. The media would run with it.
Yeah, true.
Anyway, but yeah,
7 billion people.
I feel like the only way you can get accurate stuff is just go straight to the CDC website and then.
The only way to get accurate stuff is to go to someone who has it and find out for yourself.
That's right. Have them raise their hand, or have them raise their hand, count the hands, and that one know. But yeah, it's kind of scary looking at all the numbers going up. But stay home. Wash your hands.
Stay home.
Watch.
Stay safe.
Yeah.
Lots of movies like the movies in the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
MCU.
Guys, why don't we talk about that?
Dude. So the other day I was watching Avengers, the first Avengers movie, and I was just watching it and I was like, this is the best Marvel movie. Like hands down. And I texted everyone in our chat.
I know a lot of people who would say that.
And I was like, hey guys, this is the best Avengers Marvel movie, hands down. And they were like, no.
And I said,
it's these movies.
Well,
like,
let Michael say why he thinks it's the best one.
You have the floor, Michael.
Most of the Marvel movies are pretty good, or at least like entertaining for the genre movie they are. They're not like masterpieces, I don't think, but they're all pretty good. But I don't know. I was watching Avengers, and it had everything that even Luke complained about was not really in there, and everything that Luke was like, oh, this is awesome, is in there. So like if I find something that I don't think Luke can criticize, I'm like, this must be really good, because that doesn't happen. Because they have great jokes, but they're not super cheesy. The action is good. The story, there's actual story. Like there's not a whole lot of plot holes. The only two things that don't make sense is one, Loki can't be hurt by bullets, but he gets hurt by fists. I don't really get how that works. That's fine. Captain America can punch him and it hurts him, but he can get shot with a gun. Doesn't matter. He gets smashed by the Hulk. Well, the Hulk, I feel like, makes sense because he's the Hulk. But then, also the other thing that doesn't make sense is like how Loki pits them all against each other. Maybe he's using some kind of mind thing.
Mind control.
I'm trying to even remember this movie.
It's been so long since I've seen it. It's just so good. The action is good. The action in the battle scene in New York is just amazing. And the Hulk also hulks more in this movie than any other Marvel movie, which is...
I do think this is a really good one. Out of the Marvel movies, I wrote down, basically what we're doing right now is kind of looking at all of the movies, and I'm literally looking at a website
called
it's marvel.com/movies. and it just shows them all. And I'll be surprised. I'm
the
really
official
surprised.
Marvel website.
It actually looks like not that many. I was surprised. I looked at it. I was
It's
like,
really
wait,
not
that's it?
in the grand
It's
scheme of
4, 9, so 5. Wait a minute. Sorry, 6.
20 something, right?
6, 12, 18, 19, 20. Yeah, it's like 22, 23.
I don't know about you.
Yeah, it's not that many. I was expecting it, especially when I'm looking at them right here. I'm like, wait, that's it? I feel like these movies have been coming out for 100 million years.
They also
but what I
have
wrote
not.
down is the first one, Iron Man, came out in 2008, which means...
Which is not a long time ago.
It's 12 years ago.
That's
It's
only 12 years,
12 years.
but
we're
It's
old,
12
Shane.
years of movies just coming out. You know, that's pretty crazy. But
Yeah. Ooh,
it's
the money.
not too long ago, all things considered, but it is a decent amount of time ago. And I was going to say that the first movie that sort of changed the game was, I think that first started superheroes was the Spider-Man movies, but the first Marvel movie, Iron Man, that one was a game changer.
Iron Man changed the game for sure.
Yep. And I wrote this down, and we'll see what you guys think about this. I said, these are the movies that I think changed the game, because there's a lot of Marvel movies that sort of blend together. And if we look at the ones that actually made a difference.
The ones that are just Avengers setup movies.
Yeah. So the first movie that changed the game was Iron Man. The second movie to change the game was Avengers. First movie to come out like that with that scale, that many different movies leading up to it. It was really anticipated. It was one of the giant blockbuster movies of all time, right?
Yeah, it was a moment.
The next movie to change the game, you could say that Winter Soldier changed things a little bit, because that's when I think the Russo brothers started getting involved with that movie.
That was their first one.
Yep, and that's when their style.
I don't know if it changed really things moving forward, but it definitely was the best one at that point.
It changed the game for Captain America.
Yeah. Oh, for
sure. It just made it more like agenty and less cartoony.
And they gave him combat skills that are good.
But the one that did really change, undoubtedly, no arguments can be made against this one,
is the Hulk.
Guardians of the... Okay.
The Hulk movie.
The Hulk movie. Edward Norton.
If you talk to people about it, they don't even realize that the Hulk is in the same MCU.
It's like
and if you
not
ask anyone in the MCU, they would also agree. They said, "What? We have not made a Hulk solo movie. What are you talking about?"
But
don't worry about it.
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yes.
Definitely, hands down,
really
completely changed.
Even though
once that movie came out, all the other movies changed.
Even though I did fall asleep in the theater when I saw it for the first time.
Shane, what's with you and falling asleep?
Okay, first of all, that actually
you need
is a
to
thing.
rest.
No, first of all, yes, but second of all, that actually is a thing. I tell people all the time. It was really bad for like a certain 4 years, but I said I cannot go to see a movie in a theater past 8 o'clock. And they're like, why? I said, I will fall asleep. It doesn't matter what it is. It could be any movie. It could be the most excited movie of the year for me. And I'll fall asleep. And I did every single time. But this particular one it was after like a long day. It was after Bible camp. It was after family night. We're working like 8 in the morning to like 9 o'clock at night in the hot blazing sun. And they said, let's go see a movie. Let's go see Guardians of the Galaxy, this 2-hour movie, right? All of us, we're all like in the fourth row or something. All of us dead asleep.
Dude, that's a bad movie to fall asleep into, because you could just be on Earth. You know, the movie's on Earth, just normal. You fall asleep, then you wake up and they're jumping through the black holes.
It's crazy because you just
whoa!
Yeah,
Dude,
I would wake up
I fell
periodically
asleep.
and hear another random song. I said, "Wait, I know this song. What is happening in this?"
It's like sleeping into your dreams.
This is my alarm song.
I fell asleep while watching one of the Hunger Games movies, like one of
How
the
dare
Mockingjay
you.
movies in theaters.
Oh, if it's part 2, I understand.
I think it was part 2. And I fell asleep because I had also worked all day. We saw it at like midnight. It was like one of those. I woke up at like 6 a.m. that day or something.
Yeah.
And I just wake up to
When you make bad
explosions and
decisions.
zombies. And I'm like, what the heck is going on? And I went to sleep, like, Katniss was just crying in some dusty area. And then I wake up and there's fire and zombies. I'm like, what? Did I like fall asleep and wake up in
What?
another movie?
I've never even seen this movie. There's zombies?
You haven't seen the Hunger Games movies?
No, I saw the first one.
They're not zombies, but they're like weird, like genetically engineered, scary things.
What?
Anyway.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, you gotta watch them, Luke.
So Guardians changed the game.
Sure did.
And made a lot of things great and actually ruined a bunch of things too. Because then
it changed how they
a bunch of movies were just trying to be Guardians again.
Mm-hmm.
And I would make an argument that the only one that by the crowd standards did it well is Ragnarok.
That's what I've heard.
Which I actually don't like that much. Because here it goes. I just thought the villain wasn't very interesting. Luke. I thought it was a funny movie for the most part. It was a little over the top. It was a Marvel movie.
I do think the Ragnarok is like the only one that did the like movie. after Guardians of the Galaxy came out, every other movie tried to be goofy all the time. And Ragnarok was the only one that pulled it off. I think like I watched Doctor Strange, which was pretty cool. But the goofy moments in Doctor Strange just kind of kept taking me out of it.
Right.
But also, to be fair, the second time I watched it, though, they didn't bother me as much. But it might just be because I already knew that they were coming. But they would just throw in jokes in places where, like, basically it was like whenever we get serious, they would do a joke.
I think with that, which I just kind of having this thought now, I think that they started to base all of their movies as if everyone was going to see all of the movies. Like, if you're into the MCU, you're going to see all of these movies. So we have one general fan base, and they're not thinking that each particular hero in their solo movies has a certain fan base, and there's a certain tone, and there's a certain thing you should be capturing with this particular hero. And they said, no, we're not going to do that. We're just going to insert funny joke because that's what the kids want.
Or the moms.
Or the moms, yes. The middle-aged moms.
They have a flow chart. They're like, is this a scene? Yes. Do a joke. Is this a scene?
That's what
I just realized something. I just realized what most of the Marvel movies are. Most of the Marvel movies are boomer memes.
I'm weak.
That's what it feels like.
I'm just I'm just imagining like
that's exactly what it feels like when I'm watching those movies. It's like my parents sharing a meme that they think is hilarious. It's like old and dead.
Oh no.
You know, it's like, oh yeah, Luke. Problem, troll face. You're like, no, this is so. And then everyone in the theater just dies laughing. That's what it feels like. That's what Far From Home felt like to me.
Hey.
Where it's like, guys, this is not good. These are old, predictable, not good. Ugh.
I'm picturing like the creative team writing the script, loving it. This is going to be a great movie, guys. And then some like old Disney execs with their briefcases full of money come walking in and they say, they're looking over the script. They're like, where's the joke in this scene? Oh, this is a serious scene where
this is what it's like.
Character development, but where's the joke?
Your characters need to mention Facebook. Everyone thinks Facebook is funny. Why don't you have them take a picture and say they're going to make a hashtag? Kids love hashtags. That's what they feel like. It's so annoying.
Like, so this is the scene, the pivotal moment where this character is going to break down because they realize that their father is not coming back. Yeah, that sounds like a good idea, but what if we did a TikTok video here instead?
So the argument I was going to make is that Guardians of the Galaxy changed the game.
Yes.
And no other Marvel movie has done that except for probably Infinity War.
Infinity War was awesome.
You don't think... Sure. Yeah, Infinity War is top notch. You don't think Endgame changed the game? Oh, yeah, Captain Marvel definitely changed the game. Women's rights, all the way.
That's right. The best movie by far is Captain Marvel.
Ooh, what a film.
What were you going to say? Wait, Michael, what were you going to say? What do you think about that Infinity War?
I forgot. Oh, yeah. I think that also, like, Avengers, the first movie, was just it would kind of change the game in movies at that point. Because Guardians definitely changed the Avengers kind of style. But after, like, Avengers... The first Avengers movie was the first one to have, first of all, like a bunch of random superheroes. Technically, they're all in the same story in the comics, but like you never see like a movie with a bunch of superheroes besides X-Men
together.
And the style of the movie was different. Like X-Men is always super dark and gritty and kind of like weird comic booky, and Avengers was still kind of comic booky, but it was like
bright and
awesome. It was good. It was cool enough and had enough like references that nerds liked it and stuff, and it was like cool and palatable enough that regular people wanted to go see it too, and it was awesome.
This is Infinity War still.
No, the first Avengers.
Oh,
Infinity War
switched on me.
Okay. Is like it's really cool, but also it's kind of almost too deep. You have to like watch all the movies to understand.
No, hold up. So Infinity War I'm thinking in terms of like freshness, where when I was watching the Marvel movies, I was like, Iron Man was the first movie like that. Then the Hulk tried to be Iron Man. Iron Man 2 tried to be Iron Man. Thor sort of tried to be Iron Man. Captain America tried to be Iron Man. And then the Avengers. You're like, oh, this is really good. I like the Avengers. All the teaming up. Haven't seen this before. This is really cool. Then Iron Man 3 was sort of its own thing. Some people liked it. Some people didn't. Thor 2, no one remembers. Winter Soldier was the first good Captain America movie. Yes. Then Guardians of the Galaxy changed everything with the music and the humor, the weird, obscure comic book characters. Chris Pratt. Yep. Then Avengers Ultron tried to be Avengers again. Ant-Man came out. Some people liked it, some people didn't. Civil War was Winter Soldier again.
Trash.
Doctor Strange was trying to be Iron Man again. Guardians of the Galaxy 2 was trying to be Guardians of the Galaxy 1.
Wow, can we talk about how bad?
It's not a bad movie. It's just
in comparison, it is bad.
There's some really good things about Guardians of the Galaxy 2, but it's taking Guardians 1 and then they're like, dude, let's do the same thing again, but be more funny.
Yeah.
And it's just not as good because it's the second telling of the joke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Homecoming.
I like Homecoming. Don't try.
Trying to be Iron Man again.
Well, yes, it's literally Spider-Man is trying to be Iron Man.
But you hate everything that Spider-Man does.
Wait, what?
You call yourself a Spider-Man fan, but you hate everything Spider-Man does.
No, I love the original Spider-Man comic story.
Call him out.
But then all these movies are not the story. This is Iron Man.
Call him out.
It's wrong. I'm right. One day people will learn.
I don't know why
One day people will dislike these Spider-Man movies.
No, I know. I understand, and I've always said this for the record. I've always understood Luke's distaste for these movies because he doesn't like that Peter Parker is mini Iron Man or mini Tony Stark. And it only got worse in Far From Home. I said, okay, now it's a little overboard. But so
it doesn't tell the character that I like. It doesn't tell the Spider-Man character
Yes.
Okay, we can't talk about Spider-Man.
No, we're not.
All right, guys. Welcome to episode 5 of the Spider-Man podcast.
It probably is about like the 7th episode where I've talked about this. Okay.
I really like Infinity War because...
Well, we'll get there because we kind of... I started at the bottom. Now we're here.
Oh, just kidding. Hey.
So Thor Ragnarok came out. Now, I think it's funny. It's got a lot of funny moments, but it also has a lot of funny moments that took me out of the movie. And there's not a good villain. It's just kind of a goofy, fun movie. You know, you have Jeff Goldblum shows up. He's funny. The world building is really good. The Australian rock guy.
Yeah, he's hilarious.
Yeah, I love that guy, right? But other than that, you know, Korg. I forgot what the Korgs are.
What's his name? Oh, the rock guy is Korg.
Oh, yes. I googled Korg.
Sorry, I didn't mean to randomly say it.
It's a musical instrument.
Yeah, it's a keyboard brand also.
That is true.
Yeah, Thor Ragnarok was great. It was kind of goofy, but it was good.
Thor Ragnarok is a good example of something. I didn't really like it that much, but everyone loved it. Which I think is the
great thing about Thor Ragnarok was that it was super stylized.
Of Luke's life.
Yep.
Luke against the world.
I like things that are super stylized if it's done right. Like Thor Ragnarok kind of had that 80s like synth wave neon vibe going on.
I did like that. I like that.
And they kept it the whole time. They didn't like because all the other Avengers movies kind of blend together. Like if you think of Civil War and like Iron Man and even Captain America, they all have the same like colors almost. It just kind of all looks the same in your mind, but Thor Ragnarok and Guardians both have their own distinct kind of thing, and they both kind of share the same kind of vibe.
And that's why they're teaming up.
They have their own like it's super stylized and funny, and like the editing's cool. It's kind of like
I like the colors.
The World style movie.
Yeah, it's like got that neon kind of look, and I do like that.
And there's a style to the editing too. Like, you can tell that like whoever edited it was really intentional. Edited it.
Yeah, but I don't know. I didn't like that movie that much. I appreciated the movie and I thought parts of it were good. When I left the theater, I didn't leave like really jacked up excited about it, you know? Same with the next movie. Sorry, go ahead. What were you going to say?
You know how most people have like a song with their significant other? For me and Leanne, Thor Ragnarok is our movie that we dance to.
Oh, really?
She told me to say we don't dance to it. But before we were dating, she asked me to go. She asked me to come over and watch it with her and her brother. And I got there, and she was like, "Oh, my brother couldn't come; he had to work, but we can still watch the movie together."
Clearly,
so I was like, "Oh, we'll watch the movie."
Smooth move.
Nice.
Smooth move.
Nice.
My brother couldn't come.
He always says this wrong. No, Shayne, stop talking. No, he always says the story wrong.
That's what happens.
No.
You were like, "Hey,
hold up. Let her tell it.
Can't come."
Shush, Michael.
Thank you, Luke. Okay, so me and my brother and Michael were gonna go watch the movie at the house that I was watching, right? And then Austin had to go work because somebody didn't show up, right? But then, so Michael was the one who it was actually on his way home from your 1 year anniversary thing.
Yeah, we went to North Carolina.
Nice.
So
and
this guy desperately wanted to see me. So he literally dropped his stuff off at his house and literally drove over as fast as he could to come watch this movie. And then I said, well, you don't really have to worry because Austin can't be there. And he goes, oh, well, is that okay? And I was like, if you're okay with it, he goes, yeah, sure. So no, Michael, that's not how it happened.
Michael's like, hold on. Michael's like, yeah, I mean, sure. I guess I'll come over. And when in real life, in his heart, he's like, yes! Go!
Yes,
right.
exactly.
No.
It was more like, hey, my brother's not gonna be there. Is that okay? And I was like, oh yeah, sure. And then I rushed over because I was like, oh, our brother's not gonna be there. Let's go. I'm just kidding. We were very respectful and
shaking my head. Did you even watch the movie? No, I'm just kidding.
All right, so the next movie does not have a good place in my heart.
Oh no.
Black Panther.
I thought you were going to say the Black Widow solo movie. I was like, it hasn't even come out yet, Luke.
Black Widow.
Wait, you don't like Black Panther?
No.
All right, and thank you for listening to the podcast plugs, Michael.
And the boat is sinking. It's like, Luke, don't say anything more. Michael plugs, and then we end.
All right, so, I want to say something about Luke's opinion. I liked Black Panther, but I do think it got a lot overhyped.
Yes. For sure.
But does that mean it wasn't good, though?
It was like a C. It wasn't an A+++.
I think as far as Marvel movies go,
Oscar
it was
winning.
Pretty high up. I mean,
it was not Oscar. It should not have been.
Oscar winning.
No, it should not have been nominated for an Oscar.
Winning, but
it won.
It should not have been nominated for an Oscar. That's for sure.
I kind of agree. I don't think any Marvel movie really should be.
All the Marvel movies, that's the one. That's the one.
But
it's called Impact,
Infinity
Luke.
War?
Infinity War. It's called Impact, Luke. Impact.
Just because a bunch of people wanted to see it and thought it was deep doesn't mean it is.
It did have
people out of the theaters who never go to the theaters. Impact. Billions of dollars.
It had one of the deepest villains up to that point. Well,
Kendrick Lamar did the music.
Kendrick Lamar did the music, and it was freaking dope. That is true.
Hold on, let's think about this. What's the best besides Thanos?
Who's the best villain?
Which ones had good villains?
Pretty much just Black Panther.
Iron Man 1 had an okay villain. Yeah. Not the Hulk, not Iron Man 2, not Thor.
I liked Vulture?
Avengers villain was fine. Like Loki the first time around was fine.
Is Vulture in Homecoming? Is that?
Yep.
Yeah.
Vulture was good. Vulture's really good. Guardians, no. Captain America, Winter Soldier,
Which
no.
also was
Thor,
after Black
no.
Panther. So,
which one?
Just on that there. I said Vulture was after Black Panther. Yeah, before that.
Yes.
I guess I'll give you that. He is one of the more complicated villains.
Remember a villain before that.
Yeah, I'll give you that. That's actually a good point.
Yeah. Boom.
Yeah, Luke. I think he probably is one of the best ones.
It's also one of the first movies where the hero actually learns from the villain and then changes something about himself afterwards, which is pretty cool. Doesn't really ever happen in really anything. And like this.
Well, no, wait. Homecoming came before Black Panther, but I do think that the Black Panther villain. The Black Panther villain was better than Homecoming.
Oh, in the timeline.
I was looking at the chronological, the movie timeline inside the universe. But also it was also super cool and stylized. I love style.
Okay, the style was awesome. I did like a lot of things about the style. It's just
good. The costuming. Ooh.
I don't know. There's something about that movie. I just feel nothing during a lot of that movie.
No, but I will say to Luke's credit, I saw it the first time in the hype, right? Woo, yes, Black Panther, we're here, all about it. Yes, this is amazing. I saw it a second time outside of the hype, and I don't think it was as good as when I saw it inside of the hype. So I do agree with that part, but I do think it was still
like super amazing, but it was definitely good.
Like there were some parts I would have cut out, but it's still pretty solid.
I don't know where it is on my
Wakanda Forever
top 5 or whatever. I don't even know if I have a top 5 picked out, but I think it's like one of the upper levels of Marvel movies.
Yeah, it's up there. Infinity War, that's the next one.
Yes,
Infinity War is awesome.
Epic, amazing. A ride from the minute it starts to the minute it ends. You're just in it to win it. There's no breaks.
Think about the way that movie opens. Or sorry, I'm thinking of the wrong movie. How does that movie open? Oh, Infinity War opens with him killing Ragnarok.
Yeah,
right? Basically killing all Thor's people.
Yeah, never mind. I was thinking of Endgame. I was thinking the way Endgame starts because that's awesome.
Dude, Endgame is so amazing. I've watched the final battle of Endgame, just specifically that part, like 7 times. Every time, like, me and Leanne are like, epic. Oh, you want to watch a movie while we eat? Yeah. Want to watch a movie while we eat? It's like, yeah. She goes, okay, cool. Just not where Captain America fights with Mjolnir in Endgame. I
was like, Ant-Man versus the Wasp or whatever that movie's called.
I never saw that one.
I never saw the whole thing either.
Dude, Ant-Man and the Wasp was dumb. It didn't make any sense. The villain.
I heard it was good.
So, no, dude. The villain. So this is the plot of the movie.
No, Shane.
No, Shane. I don't even remember how it starts, but I think. Oh yeah, Ant-Man. What's his name?
Ant-Man.
Ant-Man gets out of jail, and
he's on
house arrest or whatever. And then Hope needs his help. She's the Wasp on a mission for something because they're trying to find her mom from the quantum realm because they've like got a lead in how to find her. She got lost like way before the first movie, and this other guy who's like Hank Pym's like former like associate also wants it to help this girl who has like her like cells are out of phase, which makes her a really awesome assassin because they give her powers, but they also are making her die. And instead of just working together and both like using the machine to use the quantum realm to try to help her, they both like fight each other the whole movie, which doesn't make any sense. And then they get the girl's mom out of the quantum realm, and then she heals the girl who the bad guy was trying to help, and that's the end of the movie.
What?
It doesn't make any sense.
I don't know anything about it. I never even watched it.
I like the first Ant-Man though. The first Ant-Man was cool. It was like a heist movie.
The Paul Rudd.
Whenever that Hispanic dude like caught you up back to speed on any story ever was amazing.
I have to see that one again too. Ant-Man. It's been a long time since I saw that.
I think you'd like it. Good.
You got all the time, Lou.
Maybe.
Disney Plus.
But I know a movie I didn't like.
Ooh.
Captain Marvel.
Oh. Captain Marvel was trash. I forgot it even existed.
I feel like I started down a list and I actually messed it up.
The only thing
Guardians.
I like about Captain Marvel is that
whatever
part of it is set in the 90s and it has a lot of good references. That
it has a blockbuster.
Yes. It has a blockbuster.
And even some of the tunes playing, but just.
So Endgame is really good. Not as good as Infinity War.
I think.
And Far From Home.
Wait. Ugh. I want to say something about Endgame because.
Yep.
I think Endgame doesn't get enough credit as it should potentially get because it's not as good as Infinity War because it's a part 2 and it feels like a part 2. I feel like it's hard to watch that movie just by itself if you didn't watch Infinity War.
Right.
So that's what I feel about a lot of part 2 movies, and it kind of sucks because you have that part 2 curse.
It's not like someone's like, dude, let's skip Harry Potter part 1 and just watch part 2.
Deathly Hallows.
It's like, no, they're one movie. That's like saying, let's start the middle of the movie.
They're a collective. So I think together it's like this huge, epic proportions, but by itself it's still
Endgame
good.
Endgame isn't good if you haven't watched basically almost all the movies.
So let's say this then. So Endgame, it is good.
Well,
and then Far From Home, don't love it. You guys liked it though, didn't you?
I liked it.
Yes.
You understood.
I like
Shane, you understood. You understood what I was saying.
I understand why you don't like it.
With the anti-happy Spider-Man train this whole time.
I understand why Luke doesn't like it, but I also understand why the thousands and millions of teenage girls who buy the tickets to see Tom Holland like it.
I know, but it's not like all. It's not all just teenage girls. It's like literally everyone loves this movie.
Yeah,
because everyone is secretly a teenage
and it's
girl,
like
and we're all
everyone is a teenage girl for
stuff,
Tom Holland.
The Mysterio stuff is really good, but people are like,
yes, Jake Gyllenhaal,
dude, Tom Holland is the best Spider-Man by far. He just kills it. And I'm like, well, no, he's like happy and like cheerful all the time. Everything works out great, and it's quirky and funny like Tumblr. You know, you're like, wait, Spider-Man was like the dark MySpace, like sad, emo, messy, gross Spider-Man. And then we got this like happy little like, oh, let's go swing on webs. Just not Spider-Man. Spider-Man's dark and sad and
Spider-Man's dark and sad,
painful.
But they've already done it dark and sad 1.5 times.
I want to say on the record,
like, dude, we made Iron Man rich before. Let's make him poor. You're like, well, you can, but
can I say something on the record? I just want to say for the people listening and for Michael and Luke, one day Luke is going to direct a Spider-Man film, and dude, this particular Spider-Man film is going to get nominated for Oscars, and it's going to win. It's going to sweep award season.
It's gonna win an Oscar for like the saddest superhero movie. They just make a category,
yes. And Luke is going to get up onto the Academy Award stage, look into that camera, and say, "I told you."
I told you, Tom Holland.
I told you. Your movies were trash.
Just like Luke, point the Oscar at him. Like, I told you, man.
You gotta direct a Spider-Man movie. It's your destiny.
That'd be interesting.
Just show them all your podcasts about it. Like, see him qualified. I've talked about this on podcasts like 7 times.
People who are all Spider-Man fans are just sitting there listening to 5 hours of Spider-Man episodes. They're like, yes, this guy gets it.
They're like, so we've heard you talk about Spider-Man a lot. We're interested in hiring you for a film.
That is all of the Marvel movies, I think.
That's all of them?
That's it.
Has nothing come out since Far From Home?
Black Widow's next.
Nope.
But it got canceled.
Black Widow's next. Well, I think it's pushed back.
So like I said, it kind of came up short. I was like, wait, that's it? I feel like Marvel movies have been coming out forever. And that's it? That was it? That was all of them?
This because their marketing was fantastic during that run. It was just like, it always felt like something was there. That's why it seemed like there's more, because it never stopped.
Yep.
Oh yeah, it was just like constant.
But Michael, the reason we're talking about this again is because you said that
Avengers.
Out of all those movies, Avengers is number one. Yeah. Avengers 1 is number 1. Yes?
Yeah. You want me to tell you why?
Confirm your answer, Michael.
Well, like I was saying before, like, okay, so whenever
he's backtracking.
First of all, if you just listen to us talk about any movies, we always just like to point out all the stuff that doesn't make any sense or how it's dumb. But the Avengers movie just has, first of all, it has everything that you want. It's got a lot of superheroes. It's got like an interesting story arc. Got deep, like, emotional, like, connections between characters. It's got a big, like, disposable CGI army and the Hulk running around destroying the city, but no one's in the city anymore, so it's fine. You got a blue sky beam going into the sky, which is awesome. You need that for an action movie. But you also got like dope hand-to-hand combat and some decent amount of lore, and you got some complicated relationships because you got characters that are being mind controlled by Loki, and the heroes have to fight against them while still trying to keep them safe.
I want to point that out.
Thanks for the entire synopsis, Michael.
I want to emphasize something you said where you're like, the action is good, and I was just thinking about it, and that actually is one of the last Marvel movies that I really remember feeling a lot of the impact.
Oh yeah,
like when I'm trying to remember what happens. There's the scene where they're like on the buildings, and Loki is fighting someone else with his staff. They're like sword fighting.
Thor, I think.
Was it Thor? I don't know, but I just remember that scene, and it's like prosthetics, like he actually has a staff, and you can really see the weight, and it looks choreographed, and it looks real. It wasn't a lot of CGI yet, and I remember that. I remember being impressed with that movie's effects.
You feel in this movie, and there is a lot of fan service and kind of nerd stuff, because this is back then. Even back then, Marvel movies were still like mainly pandering to kind of nerds. I mean, I went to the premiere, and the nerds were super stoked and super nerded out.
Yeah, I went to the premiere with Luke.
Oh yeah, that's right. We saw this movie.
Yeah.
But dude, it was just so good. Like,
and I'm pretty sure that was my first
Marvel movie.
And they actually killed a character that you liked, and they didn't bring him back. Agent Coulson. He dies
Yeah,
trying
he has
to
a
stop
good-
Loki.
he has
I
a
thought
good
he
death,
came back
too.
in the show.
Okay, they bring him back in the show, yeah.
that's
but in
cheating.
the movies, he's dead, and in that movie, he stays dead at least.
Yeah, R.I.P.
To be fair,
So
he
actually, I
just-
want to say that about Agent Coulson. So when I saw the movie, when Avengers the first time, I'd seen no Marvel movies, so I had no emotional connection, right? When I was started watching them all from the beginning in order, and I saw him in all of the movies, so when I got to that part and he died, I said, "Oh, now it means something."
And the cool thing too is even though you see all the movies, he doesn't really do a whole lot. So I didn't really have a connection with him before this movie, but he just is such a genuine character. You can feel his his care that he has, and like how stoked he is to be part of this team.
Yeah, it's just because he's there.
He had a good death,
And he's
too.
a fanboy.
Yeah, and
Like, I remember when he died, just being kind of like, oh man, and I can't remember. It's been so long since I've actually seen that movie. Shane, which movie did you say was the best?
I don't know if I can say which one is the best, but my top two are definitely Winter Soldier and Infinity War. Those are the ones at least that I enjoy the most.
Winter Soldier is probably my second favorite.
But
Yeah,
I'm a
Soldier
Captain
was pretty
America
nuts.
stan, so I saw that movie 3 times in theaters, which I think that's the most I've ever seen a movie in theaters.
Wait, 3 times?
Yeah,
I think
like
I saw
I
Avengers
paid
in
3
theaters.
times.
I was trying to think of the. Oh, okay.
I think I saw Avengers 3
I
times.
paid 3 times. I snuck in the other 3.
You're right.
I'm trying to think what movie I saw the most in theaters. I think I saw Baby Driver. I think that's like
Really?
yeah, I think I saw it like 5 times in theaters
Wow.
because I kept seeing it with different people.
That's
Baby Driver was really good. I
love
saw
for
it
a
like 2 or
film.
3 times, but never in theaters. But it was good.
Avengers, I think I saw a few times because I saw it with different people at different times. But yeah,
I saw
that
Last
movie a
Jedi
lot.
in theaters twice. And I fell
5
asleep both times.
times.
Fun fact.
You fell asleep.
I'm just. I couldn't imagine seeing the same movie 5 times in theater. I'm trying to think if there was a movie that I could do that.
I just kept
with.
seeing it with different people.
Yeah, you're like,
Yeah,
you gotta
so I
see
guess
this
that
movie. They're like,
makes
oh,
it,
you already
yeah.
saw it. It's okay. I'll see it again.
Yeah, I'll go again.
I feel that.
Every time
Wait,
I
are
watched
you one
it,
of
I
those
loved
people?
it.
So I'm the opposite. I can't do that. If someone has seen a movie, I can't go see that movie with them.
Well, if they ask, like, usually they ask you to. It's like, or
But
if
see-
it's so good, they want to see it again. So I'm usually the guy that I'll go see a movie again with somebody who hasn't seen it because I like watching people watch movies.
Yeah, and that's fun. But then I get it from that perspective.
creepy.
But from my perspective, if I've never I'll go see a movie that I've already seen with someone who hasn't seen it. But if I'm going to see a movie that I haven't seen and someone's already seen it, I don't
yeah, you
like
can't feel
that.
kinda
I'll
bad.
change the movie. I'll say no. Let's go see something else. They'll say why? Because I said I react in real time to movies, and if you've already seen it, you're not reacting in the same way, and it's not as exciting. It takes away the experience. So let's just go see something else. It's fine.
So I'm
Seems
looking
like
at these
we both
movies right
haven't
now, trying to decide which one I think is the best. But it's really kind of hard to describe.
We know Luke,
best.
Spider-Man Homecoming is
Far
your
From
favorite,
Home, you
your
mean?
top. Yes, Far From Home
Far
is your
From
top
I mean, Captain Marvel.
movie. You don't have to tell us. We know.
But how do you define best? If it's like, which one is the
I know,
most
that's what I'm
cinematic
saying.
masterpiece?
What are we going off of?
And it's like, I'm literally
Goodness.
looking at all of them going, which one is the best
No, it's just
movie
which one do you enjoy?
standalone?
Which one do
I
you
think-
enjoy the most?
Well, we're going to answer this in different ways. I don't
Okay.
want to just answer it in one, because the one I enjoyed the most, probably Avengers 1. But I enjoyed Avengers 1 so much because I was with so many people. I went with weren't we
You
with
have
like
the memories
8, 10
attached to it,
people?
and nostalgia.
Yeah, and we were hyped with everyone, so it was like going
Yeah.
to a
It was
football
definitely
game.
hype seeing the first Avengers movie because
Everyone
pretty
in
much like, I don't know if-
costumes.
did you guys see it on the premiere weekend or did you see it just later on?
Oh yeah, no, we
saw
saw it
midnight.
premiere weekend,
Yeah, 'cause
midnight, waiting in
First of all,
line.
back then, dude, I sound like an old person now. Back then, when I was
I know,
Back
young,
in my day.
they actually
Back when
had
we
didn't have
premieres at
coronavirus.
midnight on Thursday night. Now it's like at 7 o'clock on Thursday.
Oh
which is
my
super
goodness!
lame.
Now it's like 6 o'clock on Tuesdays. You can go see.
Yeah, super lame.
And
But yeah,
like
like
3 days before.
you would go to the theater with like your I had a Iron Man mask and some cop made me take it off. But you go there and there's like people like dressed up, they're like all these nerds. It's like remember that like Pokemon Go summer where everyone's outside playing Pokemon Go together and
Yes,
talking?
what a
It was
good
like that,
time.
but in a theater about Avengers, and it was like yes,
Yeah.
Dude, it really
What I've
was
been
fun.
training for.
I
It was
remember
awesome.
you're so hyped, and everyone you're with is so hyped, and you're all seeing the movie at the same time. So you're with all these strangers and everyone's excited about the same thing. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's really fun.
It definitely was kind of like a moment in
before coronavirus.
Before coronavirus swept us all away. I know. I need to cancel my movie card now. Like the movie theaters are going to be closed.
Dude,
but I'm looking at which.
But if they're not closed, I'm about to just start going.
So not the one you enjoyed the most, but which one do you think is the most solid, stand the test of time, best movie by itself?
Oh,
I think Avengers is the most solid because I've gone back and watched it later, like way later since when I first saw it, and it like I still felt stuff, and I was still like really entertained. And I was even still kind of surprised by things because it actually has some good twists in it. Just as far as like how they tell the story. Nothing super crazy happened, but the way they reveal everything is really cool.
I think the one that will stand the test of time, that if someone's like in 10, 15 years says, okay, let's revisit the Marvel Cinematic Universe, I'll recommend you a movie, I feel people would say the first Avengers.
Yep.
I think that Iron Man.
Iron Man's also great.
Maybe Iron Man because it's the first, but I definitely think the first Avengers is just because of just the moment, them all coming together, just being this big ordeal. You can't really take it away from it. So
yeah. I'm thinking about it. I'm looking at these films. I didn't know the answer of this before I asked this question, but I'm looking at these films, scrolling through them, thinking about which one by itself. So the only reason I'm not going to say Avengers 1, well, this is not the only reason. One of the reasons I'm not going to say Avengers 1 is because it is sort of riding those other movies, but not a lot. Because it does stand on its own pretty well, I think. Yeah. I have to watch it again to verify that. But as a movie by itself, I'm going to go Guardians. Because Guardians, I think Guardians is a stylistic, iconic movie when compared to other movies.
Oh, yeah.
So you watch like the Marvel movies and you're like, all of these Marvel movies are very similar, but this one stands out as way different from the other ones. But still a Marvel movie.
You don't have to know anything about the Marvel Cinematic Universe in order to appreciate Guardians.
Dude, and Guardians is so iconic and original.
It's because
the colors. It did the colors the way it did the type of characters it did.
Yeah.
It did the soundtrack, the style, the humor, all the music in it.
The thing about Guardians...
I'll finish up the last thing. Taking a random comic book that nobody knew and turning it into a blockbuster. I think it's the most iconic one.
Yeah, no, definitely. I agree with everything you said. It's because they had like a vision with Guardians and then they executed the vision and followed it through all the way through the movie being released. Like, they repopularized cassettes. Cassettes were not cassettes were not popping like they are today until Guardians brought that back.
Hipsters who are like in their like
who shop at Urban Outfitters
noise band at the local shows. That's the only place I've seen cassette tapes in the past 10 years.
So I definitely do agree with Guardians, and it's hilarious. It's funny. Comedy is spot on.
Guardians could bring in people who didn't like. It could bring in people that didn't watch Marvel movies. Yeah, and it could recruit them.
That's true.
So it's sort of like stands out as just.
It's because
it's
they were
branching
like
out of the franchise in a way.
Yeah, and they were more like relatable characters because they weren't these, bigger mega superheroes. They're like this misfit group of people who get put together to go across the universe and. Crazy things happen and we're going to do this together while listening to some awesome jams that I made on my cassette player. Sounds like a good time to me.
It was a good movie. And it had some pretty cool stakes and a good ending, a good character, good actor.
Yeah.
It's also kind of why Iron Man was good because Iron Man was the first one, so it definitely stood on its own. But also it's super good. Like I could watch Iron Man by itself and it's a really good movie. You feel things. You see cool things.
You feel things.
Iron Man's up there for sure.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Let's wrap up this podcast. Some interesting discussion here to take a break from...
We have to decide which one's the best. Did we just decide?
Well...
We have to vote?
No, I was just saying which one I think is the best.
I think we got to all pick one. We have to collectively choose.
Collectively choose as the boat has to collectively choose?
It's tough to say Guardians because Guardians is the least Avengers movie out of all these Marvel movies. Mm-hmm. It's the most not connected and then it gets brought in.
But I think
you know what I mean.
Its non-connectedness is really good, but I don't think that makes it the best one. I definitely think it's a really great movie. It's definitely the one that can stand alone the best.
I'm not saying that makes it the best. I'm saying it makes it kind of hard to put it and say like this one is the best Marvel movie when it's like, dude, this almost wasn't like a Marvel movie. Like it didn't. Yeah. If you look at Iron Man 1, Hulk, Iron Man 2, Thor, Captain America, Avengers, Iron Man, Thor, Captain America, other than Hulk, all of those are the same people, the same characters, kind of in the same area. And then Guardians, does it even show any of the Avengers at all?
No.
Yeah, so it has none of them in it. So it's almost like a side movie, and then it gets brought in Guardians 2, right? Or do they show up in one of the other movies?
Basically, until the end of Ragnarok is when they kind of tie it in.
Yeah, so it's sort of like they were a different area and then they joined. So I was going to say it makes it easier to say Avengers should be the top because it's more of a MCU movie.
I don't think that disqualifies it, but yeah, Avengers is also more of the Marvel thing.
I would say, as a movie to say this is what a Marvel movie is, Avengers.
Yeah, the best example.
But if I was going to rate them in terms of standing test of time and being the best film, I think I would say Guardians.
I think it's a standalone film, Guardians, but as a Marvel movie, Avengers. I can agree with that.
All right, Shane.
What do you think? Do you agree with us, or do you got to start all over?
Get in or out of the boat?
Yes, I agree with both the things that you're saying. My pick is still Infinity War.
I respect that.
Has the most replay value for me.
Yeah, Infinity War is pretty good too.
But I do think that, but not as a standalone, just because you do need some context to watch it. But so I do agree with.
Yeah, because Infinity War is so much the momentum of all the others.
Yeah.
And it delivers. So it's almost like passing the baton, and then like the last person to get it still runs really, really far on their own.
It's definitely the sprint.
But it still was riding everyone else.
Yeah,
I do feel like you could like read a synopsis of the like kind of the movies up until then. Just like read it real quick before you go in the theater and watch Infinity War and still be blown away and think it's amazing because it still is its own contained story.
I'm about to make a really nerdy, hopefully not too obscure reference, and if it is too obscure, then shout out to me. But do you guys play Sonic Adventure 2? Sonic Adventure 2.
Dude, Tails?
I just found my GameCube yesterday, and I just found that game.
Is that the one with Tails? Which one is that one?
That's the one where Shadow comes in.
Yeah, where you can play as Sonic and Shadow. Yeah, they're all in it, but you can play as
a GameCube.
Shadow, and you can play as Sonic, and you play as both. But so there's, for all my nerds out there, there's the last level, which is called I'm just having a blank now. So basically the last level is you play all the characters, and you're like rushing through this base, and each character has its own little level point, and you're reaching to fight this like final boss at the end. This is a very epic thing. That's what Infinity War reminds me of, and it's just like the best thing ever.
Yeah, I feel like our friendship just deepened in this change.
Nice. All right, on that note, that's a good note.
So basically Avengers wins. I was right. Avengers is the best. I'm glad we had this talk.
Yeah, Avengers is pretty timeless. I think they're both. I think we got a good two. Avengers and Guardians, I think, no one's gonna argue with us.
Avengers,
about those two.
Guardians on the side, and also Infinity War is really good.
Yeah,
like, close second.
Yeah, it kind of depends on what the question is. You know.
Yeah, like, for sure.
So yeah, sounds like we agree.
Wow.
We're all in the same boat for the first time.
I bet you
since we started this podcast.
If we ask Nick what his opinion is, he'll probably say something really random like Iron Man 2 or something.
He's like, Thor 2.
Yeah, Thor 2.
Thor the Dark World.
All right, guys, let's wrap up this podcast, ending with whatever. The plugs. Michael, why don't you end this with the story?
All right, so follow me on Instagram, Michael Demas, MykolDimas. All the stuff I do is on there. Also, speaking of church, I've actually been involved with 3 different churches, internet church, if you want to check it out. Ooh. If you need a church to worship at, they have live music playing. And we pre-recorded the services, so that way the sound quality is better, because trying to live stream a full band is terrible.
Amen.
But if you want to check it out, you can check out my church, Lifehouse, at theaterchurchnn.com. That's like Theater Church, NN's for NewportNews.com. We got my old church, Upward Church. It's just upwardchurch.org. They have a really cool, they have a worship set that's like almost an hour long. Then we have an acoustic set we did. And then harborpoint.org. I'm actually recording one with the worship leader there. His name is Brett, tomorrow. So if you want to get some church on and worship with your family in your house while you're under quarantine, those are good places to check out.
Nice.
Wait, what was that last church you said? The second one?
Harborpoint.org. Also, it's Harborpoint, HARBOR. And then point is POINTE. Because they're fancy. All one word.
Ooh,
.org.
Fancy.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right, Shayne. Actually, I guess, Michael, weren't you supposed to do this outro?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
right,
Michael. All right, you can check out the podcast that I host, the Pop Talk Podcast, talking about pop music and pop culture. Just, search Pop Talk Podcast, find that there. Find me on Instagram as well as Mr. McCatty, MRMCCATTY. Stay updated with all of the stuff I'm doing there. Even though with this coronavirus, it does slow a lot of things down, and there's a lot of things that I had planned to do, but when your thing is to create things that involve other people or going places, it's kind of hard to do those things. But I did finally get to post, this is not really about me, but I finally posted the album cover I did for my friend's EP that came out. It's called Spectrum by Nathan Bunn. So that's everywhere where you listen to music or stream music. If you want to check out that EP, I had no involvement with this EP besides doing the artwork. So when the music part, it has nothing to do with me, but you can look at the amazing artwork that I think is amazing.
The album cover is really good. I like it.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm getting it framed and I'm so excited. But so check that out. Check out the EP. It's really dope. He writes all his own songs, plays all his own instruments. So everything you hear, mix it all himself, record it all himself. So everything you hear is 100% him. And I think it's pretty good. So check that out. That's what I got.
All right, Luke. Plug.
I was sitting there with my lip trembling because I was like, cool. All right. So, and then I was like, wait, I am not the host right now. Can't do that.
I have the power. All right, Luke.
I got the power.
I feel so weird. And so out of character. I'm like trying to say things I normally say and I can't say them.
You can say it. You can take over.
You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Luke Roxwold. That's LukeRockswold. Everything, videos, pictures, events, live shows, everything I'm trying to do. If you follow my Instagram, that's probably the best place to see it. So yeah.
Do it. All right, y'all.
All right, take us home, Michael.
Well, guys, let us know what your favorite Avengers movie is. If you think we're wrong, let us know. I don't think we are. We pretty much all... Basically, whenever we come up here, we always solve stuff. Me, Luke, and Shayne, we come up here and we fix the world's problems. So if you got a problem with that, you can come and tell us. Go to our Instagram.
Yikes. And we will fix it for you.
Did you say our Instagram?
We will do our best attempt.
Oh, I didn't.
Our Instagram is WAISTB.
Oh, no.
WAITSB pod.
Oof.
Yeah. Yes,
Close.
WAITSB pod. Our initials and then pod. No, podcast. Dang it. I wanted to call it pod because I was like, podcast is too long of a word. WAITSB podcast on Instagram.com. Go check it out. Tell us what you think. I'll try to post a poll tomorrow. Let us know if we're right or if we're wrong.
If we're right.
We're probably right. But yeah. And on that note, outro.
Outro.